أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. These are the Ramadan Daily Quran Studies for the year 2024, written by Zahid Aziz and produced by Ahmadiyya Anjuman Ishaat Islam, Lahore, UK.
Study 17 Women in Islam, Part 8 Marriage and Treatment of Wife. Here I largely quote from Maulana Muhammad Ali's book, The Religion of Islam, first published in 1936. This is to show that the ideas presented below are not a modern product, but that the Lahore Ahmadiyya movement took a lead in emphasizing the real teachings of Islam in matters where the cultural practices of Muslim societies were in violation of those teachings. Maulana Muhammad Ali writes, "Marriage is looked upon as a contract in Islam. This shows that before marriage, both parties must satisfy themselves that each will have a desirable partner for life in the other.
فانكحوا ما طاب لكم من النساء."
The Holy Quran lays down expressly, addressing men, "Marry such women as seem good to you." 4:3. Since the contract is put into effect by the consent of two parties, i.e. the man and the woman, it would seem that the woman has the same right to satisfy herself before giving her assent. The consent of both the man and the woman is an essential part of marriage, and the Quran lays down expressly that the two must agree.
فلا تعضلوهن أن ينكحن أزواجهن إذا تراضوا بينهم بالمعروف.
Do not prevent them from marrying their husbands, if they agree among themselves in a lawful manner. 2:232. Although this verse relates specifically to remarriage of a man and a woman who have divorced but wish to marry one another again, Maulana Muhammad Ali has applied this principle more generally to all cases, that if a man and woman agree to marry one another, doing so within the moral and legal boundaries of Islam, then no one has a right or power to prevent them from getting married. Regarding the minimum age of marriage, Maulana Muhammad Ali refers to 4:6 in the Quran and writes, "As marriage is a contract, the assent to which depends on personal liking, as already shown on the basis of the Holy Quran and Hadith, and since this function cannot be performed by anyone but the party who makes the contract, it is clear that the age of marriage is the age of majority, when a person is capable of exercising his choice in matters of sexual liking or disliking. A man or a woman who has not attained to puberty is unable to exercise his or her choice in sexual matters and unable to decide whether he or she will like or dislike a certain woman or man as wife or husband." The following verse instructs how a man should treat his wife in many different situations.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يحل لكم أن ترثوا النساء كرها ولا تعضلوهن لتذهبوا ببعض ما آتيتموهن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة وعاشروهن بالمعروف فإن كرهتموهن فعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا ويجعل الله فيه خيرا كثيرا.
O you who believe, it is not lawful for you to take women as heritage against their will, nor should you cause them hardship by taking part of what you have given them, unless they are guilty of manifest indecency. And treat them kindly. Then if you hate them, It may be that you dislike a thing while Allah has placed abundant good in it. 4:19. Among pre-Islamic Arabs, a widow, after a husband's death, could form part of the inheritance, and the heir could marry her at his will, marry her off to someone else, or prohibit her from marrying anyone. This abolishes such a custom of inheriting the widow. This would also preclude the custom of a daughter being promised by her parents for marriage to someone without her consent, or when she is not even capable of consenting because of being too young. The second evil remedied here was the practice that a husband would divorce his wife without giving her the full mahr, when she was not at fault, such as having committed manifest indecency. He must pay the full mahr when the wife is blameless, and must not subject her to hardship. The third instruction is a general principle, and treat them kindly. The Quran applies it to all cases, whether in daily marital life, or if tension has developed in the relationship, or if separation or divorce is taking place. Lastly, the Quran reminds husbands in this verse that if they reach the stage of disliking their wives, they should ponder that they might be wrong to do so, and that in fact there might be abundant good in their wives which they are overlooking. The following instructions, addressing husbands, occur in connection with separation or divorce.
فإمساك بمعروف أو تسريح بإحسان.
Then keep them in good fellowship, or let them go with kindness. 2:229.
فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو سرحوهن بمعروف ولا تمسكوهن ضرارا لتعتدوا.
Then retain them with kindness, or let them go with kindness, and do not retain them for injury, so that you exceed the limits. 2:231.
فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو فارقوهن بمعروف وأشهدوا ذوي عدل منكم وأقيموا الشهادة لله.
Retain them with kindness, or part from them with kindness, and call to witness two just ones from among you, and give upright testimony for Allah. 65:2. The Quran, whenever dealing with divorce, tells husbands to treat their wives with kindness and good fellowship, whether they are going to continue the marriage or to terminate it, i.e., in every circumstance. They must not retain their wives and then cause them injury or harm. Instead, they should retain them only with kindness, or separate from them with kindness. The mention of calling of two witnesses for divorce and giving of testimony shows that it is a proper legal procedure. So the practice of divorce by the husband saying to the wife, "I divorce you," is wrong and against the Quran.
Barakallahu lana wa lakum fil Quranil Azim wa nafa'na wa iyyakum bil ayati wa zikril hakim. Innahu ta'ala jawadun karimun balakun barrur raufur rahim.